want to do the intro?
Yep. Welcome to yet another episode of Cultivating Conversations with DP Squared.
Amen.
We are back. This is the number one podcast in all of Washington, D.C.
Indeed.
We are glad to be back, man. Glad to be back.
No, guys, it's been a long-awaited time. It's been 2 weeks we've been off.
Mm-hmm.
We were preparing. We still got some stuff in the works, but we're officially back.
Yes.
No more Miss Tuesdays. We're sorry for the Tuesdayers who wanted to see us, but we are back.
I know. We love y'all. We appreciate everyone who tunes in live, and we appreciate those who watch it after the fact, because we know y'all are tuning in whenever it suits y'all.
Who got more love in your heart, though? The viewers live or the viewers after?
What do you mean?
I'm saying, who you like more? Like,
oh my gosh.
Or it's equal?
It's equal.
Okay.
Live only because the girlies be having the comments, and I love that because it's like it helps us feed off of hey y'all. Yeah.
Okay.
But how you been? Should we do a quick catch up?
Yeah, let's do a catch up, man. Let's do a catch up.
Okay.
That 100-degree weather.
I'm sweating and I'm inside.
Bruh.
So yeah.
You step outside like you can't even breathe. But nah, I've been good though. Just staying on course, doing what it do, living life. Nothing really to it but to feel me. So.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, same with me. Just moving and grooving,
Yeah, that's all you can do.
It.
Move and groove.
That's it. But okay. So today's topic, I think, is going to be a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people don't really like to talk about.
People don't like to talk about bad things.
Yeah, and I wanted to preface that this is not a sad podcast
right. It's
episode.
not sad,
this is just more of a honest conversation, just an honest conversation.
Let's have a real conversation.
So let's have
today.
Right. If you're ready to have a real conversation, then this is the podcast episode for you. That's what I think.
It's a conversation that's going to be had today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the topic is how to deal with disappointment. Now, I wanted to start off and ask you, like, what does it mean first, I guess, to be disappointed? Like, yeah, what does that mean for you?
To be disappointed, right? I think personally, disappointment to me was definitely different some years ago. Disappointment changed how I spoke, changed when I spoke, how I felt. Every emotion was entangled through being disappointed. And it's like, I realized disappointment is not, especially back then, is not just these huge moments where you are failing or doing things bad. It'd be like the smallest thing. That just tick you or turn you to like the other side. But now what I really understand and realize is that like disappointment is defined by the experiences that I've had prior, right? So I first look at it like, well, everything that I've been through leading up to now, like comparing it to someone who has constant disappointment, I see why you handle it, why you secluded or sad, because that's how you feel. Somebody who is always gets something and they get disappointed once, well, they'll probably just brush it off. So my experiences leading up to how I feel now has definitely changed the course of how I view disappointment. And it's more, I see it as just another instance in life. Really.
Okay. Like it doesn't, you don't put it in a separate own category. Right. It's like just another emotion you have experienced or something. Okay. That's actually a great point. I do want to point out like maybe a couple of recent examples of how I've been feeling disappointed.
Okay.
And it's crazy because like before, if somebody disappointed me or something like that, I'm so quick to like cut them off or just be like, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with this emotion. You know what I mean? But the older I get, the more I realize that you can't get rid of everybody. Right. And this is what I mean by this. Okay. The main thing that has been disappointing me right now is just job searching. Like, even though it's crazy, is I'm used to rejection as far as for jobs because it's just the name of the game. Like, I'm so used to it, but I don't know why right now I'm getting more disappointed because of the fact of like, I'll be ready to like lean on certain people to ask for maybe advice or like if they have connections or whatever the case, and they've been letting me down. And it's people that I've done so much for when it comes to like my work relationships.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, dang, this is disappointing me because like, I don't know how to accept that. I don't know how to accept the fact that like I'm getting disappointed constantly right now. And I don't know if it's because like maybe I shouldn't expect that from them at all, or am I genuine? Am I legit in feeling that way? You know what I mean? Like I just don't know.
So you're kind of entangled on both sides.
Yeah. And I'm like disappointed at myself too, not because I what's the word, like let myself down or anything, but it's just like, dang, Deja, like,
yeah.
Usually things just be clicking for you. Like, why is not doing that now?
Before I ask you, I'm gonna ask the people, how do y'all deal with disappointment? You know, what methods do y'all use? Drop them in the chat real quick. But I want to ask you,
yeah,
why do you think you said so? What's your main method of handling disappointment right now?
Right now,
yeah. And we being honest.
I don't know. Like, okay, if we're talking, I'm gonna stick with work because I know personal is different. Work wise, not work wise, but like more professional situations. I'm gonna say I just not avoid it, but I just kind of push past it.
You deter your mind from it?
Yeah, like I don't have a conversation with that person. Okay. I don't say like, hey, I think this is the thing I kind of expected out of you. This is how I'm feeling because that didn't happen. Like I don't have these conversations with these people.
So do you accept it? Or are you deterring? Are you accepting and deterring? Like, okay,
I'm not accepting it. I am not accepting it.
You're just deterring.
Yeah, I don't accept it because I'm just like, how can you, like, why? What's the reason? What's the reason?
I have a question I want to lead off of that. Is your expectations causing this?
Yes, yes. My expectations of people is causing the reason why. Because this is the thing, you can't be disappointed if you're not expecting anything from that person. Yeah, you can't. You literally can't be disappointed.
But that's not the way to live, though.
I know, but I'm just saying that's why it's from expectations I have from these people is the reason why I feel disappointed. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking expectation like creates desires and creates goals, like what you want to achieve. And when people say, or people decide to live a life of no expectation, and then they just succumb to not expecting anything, so they don't feel bad.
Right. That's
not a life to live because. Personally, I feel when they get to the end of the road, they're gonna feel like a disappointment. What they were trying to avoid is what they have become.
It's gonna happen,
So, even though expectation causes disappointment, it's like you cannot live without it.
Yeah. So what do you do? Okay, so if you've been disappointed or someone has let you down, like what do you do to
overcome?
And because like I think sometimes when it comes to friends and family, people think that it's a little easier to like have that conversation or maybe kind of address it. But when it comes to work situations or professional experiences, I can't just cuss this person out.
Right.
Like you legit can't, because you want to, keep relationships. But what's the thin line between keeping a relationship and just accepting stuff that is just not, you feel like it's just not fair?
Yeah. Honestly,
I'm just asking. I'm not saying you have an answer. Yeah. These are just things that I've been feeling lately.
But to answer the question, I think I do have one.
Okay.
It kind of stems from, I believe, even though it could go on expectations as well, but through life, we're kind of believe that, through TV or whatever you view, just the entertainment or the environment you grow up in, it's kind of that the expectation is that everything's just glamorized and everything's supposed to go positive.
Like your way.
Yeah, it's supposed to go your way, but just in general, life is supposed to be perceived as happy, like all the time.
Yeah.
And I do believe that it does not make you a less of a person or less of a human if you have a day of disappointment. I feel that you should take that day of disappointment just as you would take it as a day of happiness, because life is not coded in a way for everything to go correctly. So
that is facts.
So I'm just saying, like,
that's facts. Like I'm still learning to accept that, but that is facts.
It's like as you take the disappointment, it's the same route you should take the way you perceive happiness. It's just as things go along, you create new experiences. That's part of growth. It's like
okay. Now, what if? And if people have suggestions or answers, let me know. What if that phase in your life feels like it's just
constant?
It's like more of a constant thing. Because for me, it's like if I have 2 hours of a bad day, I'm already like ready to throw in the towel.
I agree with that, though. You can't look at everything like I just said. You're right.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, when's enough time to like soak in that emotion, and when is it time to say, all right now,
back up.
Yeah, like, or just like, all right now, I need some good things to start happening. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how long do you wait for like stuff to just be going so bad? And I guess it's maybe looking at the other things that are going well in your life, but like I just don't.
I think it's definitely a part of it is definitely assessing what's going on is important.
Yeah,
and noticing that what's happening will end. Like everything that's happening and unfolding, it could be reversed and everything could be positive back-to-back days. So I think it's looking at things with optimism.
Yeah.
Honestly, but coming from a perspective like you where you said you're struggling with work and stuff, how do you gain optimism in time like that?
Let's see.
When you feel like nothing's going your way, and people can answer
Honestly,
in the chat too.
I think about how you kind of was just saying. I think about all the stuff that went well. Like everything has always worked out. Yeah. Literally. So I try to like remember that, or try to just remember, okay, if I continue to do the things that I can control, like the things that I can't necessarily control will end up working out. That's probably what I do. Or I try to just stay consistent. So like that's consistently maybe looking for jobs, or consistently like reading or something, like whatever is that thing that can maybe make me still feel like I'm being sort of productive in the midst of like feeling like I'm not succeeding the things, not accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish at the moment. Yeah. Like trying to find some sort of like consistency or productivity. Right. Even if it's just applying to one job, that's still good progress for that day. You know what I'm saying? So trying to do that. But so it's not easy, honestly. Like,
so if someone was going through this, you would recommend consistency.
Yeah, which I guess is kind of like easier said than done, but I think people have a wrong idea of what consistency means. Okay. Like consistency doesn't mean that every day you're running a mile. Like that's not, because one day consistency can be a mile, another day is literally you walked around the block, and another day is you ran half a mile. Like you have to have that type of mindset with it. It can't just, it's not going to always be like this. Some days it's like, shoot, the day I just got out of bed, that was good enough. So like, but it's true.
Yeah, dealing with disappointment is not just an increase.
No, not for me at least.
It's definitely a flow.
Yeah, it's like a flow.
It's a flow. And like people understanding that earlier than later, I think is definitely important. People definitely get soaked up in what is going wrong in their lives when, like you said, 10 things before just went great.
Yeah.
So it's about realizing and analyzing your life in that moment. Yeah. You know, looking at all the outside factors, not just what just happened.
Right. Okay. So what happens when it's someone in your personal life that disappoints you? Like, because I think I should have done a better job with handling these type of situations, but I'm not that mature yet. I can admit.
Yeah. I got some things from some people. They actually said some things that they do. I want to see if you agree.
Okay.
So someone said,
and let us know if y'all agree too.
Yeah.
Like
Someone said, talking to someone who has had a similar experience, does that help you when someone personally disappoints you?
What do you mean? Like talking to someone else,
friend that has experienced maybe a situation the same, or
I see.
Your parents, or
talking
it out.
I think so. I think that does help. I think you just gotta have a level of discernment of who to have those conversations with, because I feel sometimes like people that can work in a negative way. If like you're sharing your experience with someone, and if that thing didn't work out for them, then they're gonna share their experience of what didn't work out, and then that might like make you more discouraged. So you always gotta like say, okay, who can I trust to like really have that conversation with? You know?
Yeah. I got another one. Okay. Solitude. What do you think about that? Be honest.
I think that's good. I love being alone. This is a newer thing for me, so I don't really know how to take that. But I love being alone because I love hearing my own like. I'm not gonna say I love hearing my own thoughts, but I love my brain not having to like actively work at that time, if that makes sense. So sometimes I think when I do have those emotions, I just want to sit in it. Like I don't want to hear a motivating speech. Yeah. I don't want to watch a motivating YouTube or read a motivating book. Like I just want to, just take a second and regroup. Right. Or if I do want to hear something, it'll just be my favorite podcast. Like it's not going to be something that I gotta be like, oh, I gotta hear 10 ways to be successful. Like I'm not on that at that moment.
So that's perfect, because I have a follow-up question for both of those. Is like, why do you think other methods work better for others? Like you said, like why do you think solitude may work better for someone, and then talking out may work better for someone else, but they equally benefit them the same? Why do you think sometimes it's like that?
Yeah, I just think people have different personality traits. Like some people, they want somebody to be like, get your stuff together, get up, go outside, be productive. And some people just want someone to just be like, it's going to be okay. Yeah. Take some time for yourself. So it just depends on that person's personality, I think. Yeah. I prefer it's okay. Like, I don't need get your butt up and go outside and conquer the world. Like that's sometimes. Because it's like, girl, But most of the time, I just need somebody to just like, because I'm so tired of just the, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And I know I can, but sometimes I get so exhausted of just like, oh gosh, I gotta,
another day it is.
Yeah, like I gotta. I don't know.
Definitely.
I don't know. But all right, now. So did you answer my question? Like,
what was your question?
But give me an example of the way you've dealt with disappointment, like with a personal.
Oh, right. You did
relationship.
say that. You did say that. Definitely in the past, it was definitely deterring.
Like avoiding it,
and just moving on to the next thing, taking an hour or two off or a day off and just saying, act like nothing happened. But now I definitely think approaching problems head on or disappointment head on and expressing yourself wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Regardless of the situation, because disappointment honestly can take a toll for a long amount of time, and it has.
Yeah.
For me, many times has taken me days to get over something, or just feeling super anxious about approaching that conversation because I'm afraid what the person is going to say back or what's going to be the result.
Yeah.
But I definitely have seen bad result or good result. Talking it out, communicating is number one.
Yeah. Number one. All right, so I guess let's transition into the power of the tongue / the power of your word. Now I know this can be two different branches, so I guess we'll start one place first and then we'll go to the next. Now, in that same vein of you saying you don't know how the person will react, do you think that people really understand the power of their word? Like when someone says they're going to do something for somebody, or not for them, but just like, whatever. And then the person gets disappointed because they've been let down by you. Do you think that person really understands the power of like someone really expected something out of them? Or like people, I think people easily disappoint people and don't think nothing of it.
Yeah, I definitely believe people don't realize what they're saying and how important it is, because the only way of communication, besides like sign language and stuff, is your voice. Nobody knows what you're thinking. No one has telepathy to understand what's going on in your mind. So
you not do your name is sign language?
I definitely don't.
Okay, no.
But nobody knows what you're thinking. Nobody knows what's going on in your mind when you laying down in your bed by yourself. So all we can take is for what you say, what you said, what you write, whatever. That you're still saying that.
Yeah.
So when people are speaking and their thoughts become ideas and then they become messages to someone, it's like that becomes fruition. What you tell me, I'm going to believe. Or what I tell myself, that's what I'm going to believe.
Right.
So it's people don't understand how important your voice and trust are connected.
Yes. Okay. So say if you are the person who has been disappointing people, but you don't really know because maybe the person on the other end hasn't expressed that.
It's probably happened many times.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out, like, what do you do? Like, okay, if you're a person and you don't have enough self-awearness to even realize that you've been, because somebody can think as simple as telling somebody that, okay, we're gonna go grab dinner next Saturday, and they're like, okay, bet, like y'all haven't seen each other in a while, whatever. And then the time comes and you literally don't even bring it up or anything. People think that was just like she gonna be cool. Right. She'll be cool. Right. Especially if a person texts you and they say, my bad, and then you say, okay, that's fine.
Exactly.
But you don't know, you might have just disappointed them so bad. Like, I guess it's not their fault because the person didn't express it, but like you gotta have some level of like, dang, you know what I'm trying to say?
And I think as much as people deny how much others' perception of them don't affect them, it really does.
Yeah.
And I definitely believe people that don't realize or soon to realize they don't realize, then they're learning to realize. They start like, dang, how does this person view me?
Yeah.
How do other people see me? Do they see me as a BSer? Do they see me as a person that doesn't stay on their word?
Yeah.
And I think that's the first step to solution, though. At least you're starting to realize.
Yeah, that's true. I just think some people just don't.
Okay, so what are you on the other end? What if you're on the other end?
What you mean?
The other end of like you're the disappointing, like you're disappointed in them. Like,
so say if I'm the person who's disappointed in someone.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? Or what
how do you feel about that?
I hate it. Like, I hate that, and then it makes me just not have any. Like, I just don't trust you.
You lose faith in their word.
Yeah, and like you said, I hold what people say so like near and dear to my heart. Like if you say you gonna do something or you said what, I think also because I'm that type of person. So it's like it's very hard for me to accept that people don't live their life like that. And of course, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I've always done everything I said I was gonna do, but I do try my best.
So do you think your problem is you look at yourself and others?
Yeah, but like,
are you supposed to do that though? Everybody's different.
True. Okay, but if I want people in my circle of people that I trust and we can't align on certain things like that, then True. I mean,
you're supposed to surround yourself with people that have same morals and ideas. And
yeah, so I don't know.
I definitely believe what you're saying. It's just like
it's not realistic all the time.
Yeah, but even with the self-perception aspect of like how powerful words are, it's like the people you look at, and I can say when I'm younger, I don't know about now, but still now, maybe some people like people I used to perceive as super confident or super like outgoing or whatever, even if they really aren't like that behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that's who they were. They were the confident, they were the it person, and I think that's how you have to speak to yourself and feel about the way that you live, because sad to say, maybe they not felt that when they went back home, but
yeah,
that's just how people perceive them, and that's how they perceive themselves, even if it was a little bit of delusion. Like,
yeah,
I think it's important to have a little bit of delusion just to.
It is. You have to be a little bit delusional.
You got to walk in the room and think, "Oh, everybody here for me." Like, I feel like that's the only way that you can. You have to value yourself, because as much as people value others, they will never even look at themselves as important
in that way.
So it's like the way you speak about yourself comes into light. That's who you become.
And I think that's something I've had to like grow back into, because when I was in college, really the whole time I've been growing up, like I've been looked at as a super confident person, super sure of myself, super like you get what you get, but in a nice way. But I'm just saying, I was very sure of this is who I was all the way until college. And I think once I got out of college, that's when I started doubting myself, because I'm like, you have people around you telling you, like, this is how you should be, and I'm talking more professionally, but like, this is how you should be. This is what makes you successful. This is why, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. And like, then when those things don't happen, I'm like, dang, maybe I'm not as, X, Y, and Z, or shoot, like maybe I don't have what it takes, or maybe I don't. So I've gone through that phase, not phase. I still feel that way about certain instances, but I gotta remember, like you said, you gotta still have that level of delusion to be like, and I think I got to get back to when I had blinders on.
You were just focused on.
And I literally had no idea what was going on around me. And not in an ignorant way, but just in like I don't even care what such and such is doing. Like, I'm only focused on what I got going on. And I've veered off from that a little bit. So I'm trying to like get back into that mode of just being like,
do you think that's a positive outlook? Like, I'm talking about like when you were doing it to now, do you feel like?
Yeah, I think it was
both kind of.
No, I think it was positive, because I'm only saying the instance of like, when you're only focused on your success, I feel that you become more successful.
True.
Whatever success means, I just feel that you'll be more.
That's true.
Like, you have more energy into yourself, because you're not putting all your energy in trying to compare yourself to other people or like figure out what everybody else is doing. You can learn from other people, but when you're more focused on what they're doing as opposed to what you're doing, like, for instance, a very small example. I was watching YouTube today, and I was like, but I knew I had to send an email and prep for the podcast. I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch this YouTube video first. I was actually, no, I'm not. I'm about to send the emails I have to send for the business and prep for the podcast. Because it's like, why am I more caring about consuming someone else's content who's getting paid for their content? Yeah. And I'm not even handling my business first. That's so I'm just that's like a very small, very like, but that's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I mean.
And I think comparing yourself, not just you, but anyone, to others, definitely sets yourself up for disappointment, especially when you don't achieve that expectation of what you thought their success was.
Yeah.
You do something, let's say you post a video, they always get, like, it could be a friend, they always get 200 plus. Y'all got the same friends, but you only get 20 plus. And you like, why am I doing, you get caught up in that cycle of always trying to achieve something that just is not the path right now. Like, you have to just work your way into things, and things will come as long as you stay consistent.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think that's how you really avoid disappointment, though. Is like, no matter if today was a bad day, yesterday was a good day, or tomorrow's a confusing day, you continue to do, you feel me? You continue to put your
press on. Yeah, that's fact.
That's a good way to avoid.
No, I'm definitely taking that advice.
Yeah, take that.
Write that down. Okay. Do you have any other? I had one thing I want,
okay.
but it's a go to cultivate.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Okay.
I think that this is definitely the conversation to have for a lot of people, especially younger people, especially leaving out of college or beginning to start college or even beginning your career, or in just a time of indifference.
Yeah, and even with like older people, not older, like people who experienced more life than us, like maybe haven't thought like, dang, maybe a lot of people did disappoint me, but I never really paid attention to, or I didn't address that, or I didn't like really analyze how it made me feel. I think it's cool to have this conversation now, even still, because it's like, it's like a time of self-reflection.
Yeah, it is.
To think of the things that really did make, because I think sometimes like other generations really didn't have the opportunity to like analyze their emotions as much as we can. So I think it's still like a good thing to think about, whether but as the hashtag go cultivate, which is basically our tip or trick that we want to leave everybody with, that's based on the episode topic. One thing I had though was that I encourage, and I know it's hard, but I encourage, if you can, think of one thing that someone did that disappointed you. It could be yesterday, it could have been
6 years ago.
Yeah. And have that conversation with them. If you don't want to go that length, then maybe just write it down. Like write down how you felt, how that makes you feel, whatever. Because sometimes everybody can't just jump to tell somebody like, hey, you disappointed me. Like that's very difficult. But I think people gotta like learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to the place yet where I can find a mature way to do it with like work relationships. But I think personally, I think that I can definitely do that. But I would encourage everybody to like at least try. And if you can't have the conversation yet, write it down or something in some type of form.
And if the person doesn't recognize your feelings or try to deter your feelings, that's not the person for you. You need to cut them off.
Yeah, but if there's somebody that you can't cut off, we can't cut our moms and dads off. Like we want, like.
But they need to listen though.
But yeah, and I know everybody's not at that place yet, like emotionally and stuff. But if maybe you just gotta write it down or put your phone up and make a video. I don't know, but just let it out, like get it out. So I think that's you have one.
Yeah, my Go Cultivate is a YouTube video dropping Friday.
Yes.
Make sure y'all go check YouTube out. That's on our main page.
Reach inside, cultivate everyone.
Yeah, man. Check out the YouTube video dropping on Friday. It's gonna be a good one. So but now I'll Go Cultivate. I'll just say look at disappointment.
Yeah.
As another step into growth. It can be hard though, especially in the moment, looking at it like that, especially if people's situations are a lot worse than mine.
Yeah.
So I can see why disappointment would hit you way harder than it would what I'm saying. But still in that, you should stay consistent, stay persistent, always work towards your goals. Everyone has goals, even if they don't think they do.
Yeah.
So I would say always just look forward. Don't look back, unless it's reflecting. Okay.
Boy,
that's
ugly. Oh my gosh.
That's
but
it though.
We appreciate everybody who tuned in. If there's ever any topics that y'all want to talk about, let us know.
Blessings.
Let us know.
If you got a guest for us, let us know.
Yeah, if you want to be a guest, let us know. But now we want to be more consistent. I feel like we, life be lifing, but we're trying our best.
Yeah, like we still consistent though. We doing what we doing. Check out all the other things.
Yeah, check out our actual platforms because we've been pushing our content. Right, we've been doing very well.
We have so.
But anyways, this has been another episode of Cultivating Conversations with DP Squared, with your host Deja and DeAndre. I didn't let you show earlier, but we love you. We love y'all. We will catch y'all on the next episode. And
I didn't want to say this though.
Oh, go ahead.
If you continuously get disappointment, like it's been like 11 years, you might need to like move a state or something. That's all I had to say though, but because that means it's like everything if something's going wrong.
No facts. Maybe you need to just move to Utah or something.
Like
we ain't got the answers.
But all right.
But nah, we love y'all and shout out to DeAndre's haircut.
Fact. I knew y'all see something different about me. Talk to y'all later though.
All right. Oh my God.